Imagine, if cement is mixed with hot water, what will happen? Let's prove it now. Turn on the stove, prepare the pot, and let's start the process of boiling the hot water. This step is very important so that the cement mixture will be different from the usual one. Okay, now we move on. Just put the cement into this boiling water.
You don't need too much, just enough as needed.
See, as soon as the hot water hits, the cement immediately starts to react. Now it's time to pour the cement mixture into the container.
Look at the texture. It starts to thicken, but remains smooth. Pour slowly to avoid smudging, and make sure all parts are evenly filled.
This step may seem simple, but the end result will surprise you.
Now we pour the sugar into the pot, then we boil it again.
Pay close attention. Don't let the sugar freeze during the boiling process.
Stir gently, leveling with a spoon so that the heat is evenly distributed and the sugar is completely dissolved.
See how the texture starts to change from coarse grains to a thick liquid. Now, we pour this warm sugar liquid into the container that contains the cement. Oh yes, here I have added a little water to the stew pot earlier.
Because the sugar liquid is quite thick.
Sorry, I didn't show this part in the video. After that, stir gently with a spoon until everything is well mixed.
If the cement mixture feels too liquid,
add a little more cement to make the texture thicker and denser. Watch as the mixture starts to come together and the color deepens, a sign that the process is going well.
Here I have prepared one used bottle.
We cut off the top of the bottle using scissors or a cutter.
Do it carefully, don't rush, because we will use this part as the main container for the next process. Once the bottle is ready, we pour enough gasoline into it.
You don't need too much, just enough to cover the bottom of the bottle or as needed for this experiment. Next, we take the styrofoam pieces, tear into small pieces by hand to make it easier to dissolve later. Then put the styrofoam pieces one by one into the bottle that already contains gasoline. Look closely. Once the styrofoam hits the gasoline, it slowly starts to dissolve and shrink in size. You can see how the texture has changed to be more mushy and sticky, similar to glue or thick dough. We pour the styrofoam glue slowly into a container that already contains a mixture of cement and sugar.
Look at the texture. Thick, slightly sticky, and slightly shiny. After all the glue has been poured, we stir gently with a wooden stick. Okay, now we are going to start stirring this mixture using a drill so that the result is really even and smooth. Here I used 2 cable ties.
It's easy enough. Take 2 cable ties and tie them around the end of the drill bit like this. Make sure it is firmly positioned and does not come off easily when spinning at high speed.
Once everything is in place, cut both ends of the cable ties using scissors to make them shorter and neater.
Now that everything is ready, we turn on the drill. Continue stirring for a while until the color is completely even and there are no lumpy parts. The longer it is stirred, the more obvious the change in texture, from rough to soft, from liquid to elastic. This is the most satisfying part of the process, when all those simple materials finally come together into a strong and unique new form. Now it's time for us to test the results. Here, I have prepared a plastic plate that has a slight leak on the bottom.
Before we patch it, we first test whether it is really leaking.
We poured water into this plastic plate slowly, and sure enough, it dripped out of the small crack at the bottom. This is a sign that the plate needs to be repaired. Well, before we paste the mixture, an important first step is to paste the insulation on the inside of the plate.
The purpose is so that when we spread the batter later, the liquid does not penetrate directly to the inner side and helps to keep the shape of the plate neat.
Apply the insulation carefully, making sure that it covers the crack perfectly and there is no gap at all. This step is simple, but very important to ensure that the results of the patch will be maximized. Once everything is ready, then we move on to the next step, attaching the mixture to the outside of the plate and seeing if it actually stops the leak. After we attach the mixture to the leaking plastic plate, now is the time to let it harden. Let's move on to the second attempt. This time, we will test the same material, but on a different surface, a cement floor with holes.
We spread it slowly over the hole, smooth it with a cement spoon or spatula, making sure all sides are evenly covered. Notice the texture. Soft but dense, it sticks firmly to the cement surface without dripping. This shows that the mixture of cement, sugar, and styrofoam glue does have great adhesion.
We press the top a little so that it completely enters between the holes. Then smooth the surface so that the final result looks neat and blends with the original floor.
Once it's all covered, leave it for a while longer until it's completely dry and hardened. Okay, now we move on to the most anticipated stage. It's time to remove the insulation from the plastic plate that we patched earlier. We'll see if it really doesn't leak anymore after the mixture has fully hardened.
I slowly unscrewed the insulation from the inside of the plate, being careful not to remove the outer patch layer.
Now we test again as before.
We pour the water into the plate, slowly, while we look at the part that was leaking before. And look at the result. The water stayed in the dish. Not a single droplet came out.
The patch from the mixture completely covers the damaged area.
After we let it sit for a while until it completely hardens, now we see the results. To check how strong the result was, I tried tapping the surface with a spoon.
And the sound, tock, 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 was loud. There was no cracking or chipping. As an additional test, I sprayed a little gasoline over its surface to see how it would react to the liquid. And as a result, the surface remains firm and has not changed in the slightest.
The mixture of cement, sugar, and styrofoam glue that we made earlier not only adheres strongly, but also has extraordinary durability. Thank you for following the process from start to finish.
Don't forget to leave a comment. And if you like these experiments, please support this channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing. so we can keep sharing more creative ideas.